Hi, we're glad to be with you again on Power Wheel, our enlightenment program on the efforts of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, at improving the national grid and indeed electricity supply in the country. I am Sheung Olagunju. You're welcome. The Managing Director of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Mr. Usman Gur Mohammed, has assured stakeholders in the power sector and the public of the company's commitment to expanding its transmission infrastructure to ensure improvements in its operations and service delivery. Mr. Mohammed stated this during the 14th monthly power operators meeting held at TCN's National Control Center, NCC, Oshogbo, Osun State. Also at that meeting, the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, read the Riot Act to non-performing GENCOs and DISCOs.
In his opening address, the TCN MD said while TCN is making efforts to expand and upgrade its facilities, the critical problem of unutilized load on the grid must be addressed collectively by all the stakeholders within the power sector value chain to enhance the overall development of the sector.
We have reviewed and incorporated our experience past failing in implementing SCADA and MIS, and we have launched the procurement process of the SCADA. We are expanding the SCADA to reach those areas that have not got SCADA, and we are solving the deficiencies that is making us not optimizing the existing places where we have SCADA. We have developed necessary capacity to collaborate with NAC on steps to improve system stability. So as TCN, we are also ready to work with you to solve your problem together.
The Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, reiterated the federal government's commitment to its responsibilities in the power sector by activating the Power Sector Payments Assurance Guarantee that will ensure that the generation companies and others within the power sector are paid for their services. He charged all stakeholders in the sector to adhere strictly to all conditions in their contract with the federal government or face their consequences.
Some of the things that government has done is that not only is it verifying DISCO debts, which we have done consistently in this meeting, some of you have still failed to give us all of the information that we need, and I have reiterated that we will not pay any debt that we cannot verify. And as proof that we remain committed to paying debts that we verify, we have paid the debts owed by the Federal Secretariat in Abuja to Abuja DISCO, and we paid about 374,551,000.
Osun State Governor Ralph Aregbesola, who came by during the opening of the meeting in company of his deputy, Mrs. Titilayo Laoye Tamori, charged the power sector operators to do all they can to improve power supply in the country.
I can't speak for the DISCOs, I can't speak for the GENCOs, but I believe that if we are really interested in expanding our capacity for electricity generation, transmission and distribution, we must look seriously at liberalizing transmission facility in Nigeria so as to rapidly increase what is available.
Reading the communique of the meeting attended by the leadership of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, hosts Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, representatives of the generation companies, GENCOs, and distribution companies, DISCOs, Professor Frank Okafor said the meeting highlighted the issue of unutilized load and encouraged the industry to take necessary steps to address the problem.
The meeting focused on identifying, discussing, and finding practical solutions to critical issues facing the Nigerian electricity supply industry. The operators were fully represented at the highest executive management levels, including a commissioner of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, managing directors and CEOs of generating companies, distribution companies, and the Transmission Company of Nigeria, as well as various government agencies.
Finance in any organization plays a pivotal role in ensuring the smooth running of the organization. TCN is no different and, in fact, has its operations heavily capital intensive and timely disbursement of funds is critical. Power Wheels Ndidimba spoke with TCN's Executive Director, Finance and Accounts, Mr. Sonny Roche, who sheds light on his division's activities.
TCN, being part of the value chain of electricity market, has its own share of financial challenges, because we know that what's going on is a combination of generation challenges and distribution challenges. We also in TCN do have our own challenges, but like any other business, our funding mainly comes from internally generated revenue, which is earned from wheeling charges that we get both from the generation companies and the distribution companies. As a federal government-owned parastatal, we get annual budget support from the federal government in Naira. Then we also borrow through the Debt Management Office and the Ministry of Finance guaranteed multilateral loans. First, we got 130 million US dollars from the Eurobond. We also got 150 million US dollars from the African Development Bank, and we also got 170 million dollars from Agence Française Development and from the Japanese International Cooperation Agency 200 million. We've also put in place applications and processes for other loans from the World Bank and its agencies to the tune of about $1 billion US dollars. What we do is to prioritize our projects that would ensure grid stability, grid reliability to the best of our abilities and the finances that are available to us. That's good for financial management, by the way, because you cannot spend what you don't have. We know we need a lot to build our grid, to refurbish our grid, and also to expand. With all these loans that we have applied for, hopefully they will come in within the course of the year and the years ahead, and we should be able to also improve on collection by the DISCOs and the GENCOs. In basic economics, we say that the needs are plenty and the means of satisfying those needs are limited. So what I'm saying is, within our financial capability, we shall do our best with our engineers putting their best foot forward. I can speak for TCN because I'm not clairvoyant to know what happens in other parastatals. We have always operated, whilst I took over, a transparent funds management and disbursement of funds. We need every naira that's available to us to do our work as a transmission company. So we didn't have the luxury of either placing funds in commercial banks and all that goes with it. We need money like yesterday. So for TCN, our accounts are audited. We have an internal audit mechanism that ensures that funds are properly applied and used for what they are meant for. When the new Minister for Power, Works and Housing came, he met the situation on ground that there had been hundreds of power sector containers stranded at the wharf. So what he did was to call the shippers and the terminal owners who were owed money by the power sector principally at TCN. He went into negotiation with them, and most of them agreed on discount on demurrage and some of these charges. And since funds were made available in the 2016 budget appropriation, we paid the terminal and the shippers from the funds. As we're clearing containers, more containers are coming in. So we're not talking about those legacy trapped containers. TCN and the power sector is a going concern and will keep shipping equipment. So now we're talking about the contemporary ones, the ones that are live, not the old stranded ones. A new manager comes and tries to make things better. Even if you think it's good, it can always get better, it can always improve. When we came, there were numerous steps for payment, typical of government MDA. We had Manitoba Hydro, they were here, they tried their best. But when I came, I saw that the processes were a bit cumbersome and caused a lot of delays in payment of contractors. And I pushed at the fund board, considered a committee that I chaired to reduce the hitherto long steps to a manageable number of stages of approval. What I would like to say to Nigerians is electricity, like Gari, Amala, and Eba, has a lot of cost implication in doing it. It's like you go to a restaurant, they give you a plate of jollof rice. It is priced by the restaurant owner that, okay, I've bought crayfish, I've bought oil, I've bought this to make a plate of rice. Then you pay for it. It is measured. You want to drink Coca-Cola, a bottle is X amount. If we give you 1 gigabyte hour of power, it has its pricing. And I'm appealing to Nigerians to please try and pay up their bills for whatever power that they consume. It is no longer the era of free for all. Private sector people have invested their money, they borrowed money from financial institutions to get these things going. And also on the disco side, I'm appealing to them to deploy meters so that they can measure the quantum of electricity that they supply to both residences and commercial users of power.
Thank you very much, sir, for taking our time to speak with us. We hope that when next we come again, you will oblige us with answers to our questions. Thank you, sir.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
This is Power. It is an initiative of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, to enlighten the public about the activities of stakeholders and operators in the power sector, all aimed at achieving steady power supply in the country. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has successfully completed the installation and commissioning into service of 266 MVA 132/33 kV power transformers in its Katampe, Abuja and Alagbon, Lagos transmission stations. The 132 kV voltage level section of the Katampe substation, which operates with 2 by 60 MVA capacity transformers, had been functioning with only one 60 MVA 132/33 kV power transformer because the second one developed an internal fault that necessitated its replacement. This resulted in load shedding in areas like Warimpa, Jabi, Life Camp, Mintama and Wuse 2 from the 1st of March to the 10th of April. With the successful installation and energizing of the 66 MVA 132/33 kV power transformer at Katampe by TCN engineers on Tuesday 11th April 2017, the bulk load wheeling capacity of the transmission substation at 132 kV voltage level increased from 120 MVA to 126 MVA. This means that the substation now has the capacity to wheel power at full capacity to distribution load centers. TCN reiterates its resolve to continue to further expand the grid capacity to ensure that it continues to efficiently move bulk electricity from generating companies to distribution companies nationwide. Now, as part of efforts to address system collapses in the grid, the management of the Transmission Company of Nigeria said that plans have been concluded to award contracts for line tracing and maintenance of over 16,000 kilometers of TCN's transmission lines across the country. Head Transmission Service Provider, TSP, at TCN, Engineer Tom Uwa, gave this indication at the TCN Management Retreat recently held in Abuja, aimed at re-strategizing after the exit of TCN's management contractors, Manitoba Hydro International of Canada.
Engineer Uwa noted that though line tracing maintenance require huge funding, taking proactive measures will help bring stability into the grid to avoid partial or whole system collapse.
The issue of line trace maintenance, we know that lines are a major source of faults because we have more than 16,000 kilometers of lines now, and anywhere anything touches any line, it's a source of instability that could result in at least partial collapse or worse, a whole collapse. We are processing the contracts, the line trace contracts, and before long we'll be able to make the award. But in the interim, we expect you to have our linemen quickly go through the critical lines so that they can take out any encumbrance that could result in system disturbance.
On the issue of corroded insulators on the major transmission line in the system, Engineer Uwa disclosed that a task force will soon be put in place to effect the changes on the transmission line along Benin Omotosho, Ikeja West, Benin Egbin, Ikeja West, Oloronshoku.
The corroded insulators on some of our major lines, Benin Omotosho, Ikeja West, Benin Egbin, Ikeja West, Oloronshoku. We are reactivating the task force to change those insulators with composite insulators. We know it's very, very important, in particular along Ikotekpene, Ugwaji, Makodi, Gombe, you know.
Heads Independent System Operation ISIL in TCN, Engineer Musa Umel, called for synergy among technical personnel in the field through regular meetings in order to maintain proper channel of communication to help TCN take proactive decisions.
Now, this issue of commissioning projects by NIPP, people not knowing draft letters and all that, wouldn't have arisen if such meetings were actually held together jointly, that's between ISO and TSP. So it's very, very important.
The 2 days retreat, which was attended by all the executive directors, general managers, and assistant general managers in TCN, also featured paper presentations on the way forward for TCN.
The Public Affairs Division of TCN showed love to 2 NYSC members who served at the division at a send-off get-together for their diligence and dedication. The 2 former corps members, Anthony Chinonso and Ifunanya Chukwuka, were outstanding in their duties and assigned tasks.
I'm delighted in our corps members. We have, I can say, usually been lucky to have very dedicated, very useful corps members. It is not every department that has useful corps members. I want to pray for you that the Lord will light your path as you go. Amen. All you have learned here will be useful for you in life. Amen. You will be successful. I congratulate you. Thank you very much for all you have done, for your dedication. I really, really do appreciate all you did for us.
Whenever I give you assignments, both of you, you will always deliver. It's a very good thing. I appreciate you and I wish you the best.
One that I've watched them closely, and I think the 2 of them are very industrious, so we want to keep on that path. And just like Madam has prayed, pray that you don't stay idle. Do not stay idle. Keep being busy.
The former corps members who passed out with their mates in the 2016 Batch A expressed their appreciation and presented a gift to the division.
On behalf of the TCN Public Affairs Joint House, I would like to present this gift to you, Anthony Banu. To you.
The Interim Managing Director, CEO of TCN, Mr. Usman Gur Mohammed, has called for change in information system to enable the company grow into world-class standard. He made this call during a workshop organized by the Project Implementation Unit for the System Applications Products, SAP Nigeria Limited, to introduce their Enterprise Resource Plan ERP platform to TCN in Abuja.
Mr. Mohammed identified lack of a sound enterprise resource management as one of the problems in TCN and advocated that the TCN should embrace modern and world-class technologies to drive her business processes.
If we are using SAP, we can use the same software to do many things. We can adapt it for our HR, we can adapt it for our financial management, we can use it for our store. We can use it for everything, including performance evaluation, everything. We can use it. So I think you should pay attention and learn from them.
The Managing Director, SAP West Africa, Mr. Pedro Guerrero, assured the TCN management that the SAP ERP technology has all the functionalities that TCN requires to join the committee of world-class companies.
SAP is indeed the leading company in terms of utilities. Portugal Transmission Company runs on SAP, Spain Transmission Company runs on SAP, EDF runs on SAP, Email runs on SAP, pretty much all German runs on SAP. National Grid runs on SAP. Electrobel runs on SAP. So all of that pretty much runs on SAP. So it's really the big SAP, the big utilities companies runs SAP, and there is a reason for that. And it's very much through the whole spectrum of functionality, or spectrum of business functions that SAP covers.
Participants at the end of the workshop thanked the management of TCN and the project implementation unit PIU for the opportunity given them to acquire some knowledge and exposure on the application of SAP ERP software even prior to its introduction into TCN business processes, and promised to ensure that it enhances interconnectivity and promotes efficiency if procured.
And that's our package on Power Wheel for this week. We hope you'll join us again next time. Please keep your questions and comments coming. We'll find answers to them and get back to you. And just to also let you know that TCN is not currently recruiting. Do not pay money to anyone through any agent or website for employment into TCN. When it is time for recruitment, it is based solely on merit and qualification. Be guided. I am Sheung Olagunju. Thanks for watching.